Hey, we're live. Or I am. Oh, goodness. It's been a day already, kids. I guess it is what? Well, 2 o'clock does. That's when I go live. And apparently I'm going to be extra ditzy today, too. You're welcome. Yay. I'm excited to see what everyone's doing today. Hello. I see somebody's here. I should have put something on my lips. I look like I'm like really washed out. How you guys doing? Jenny, hey. Just so you know, things are all right. In case you were worried about me from this morning. Oh, goodness. Oh, thank you. I came home. I was like, okay. Well, no, I didn't come home. I was home because I got all ready for Bible study this morning and then some stuff happened. And so I didn't go. Well, then I had to take Asher's Chromebook back to the middle college. And so I drove straight there, took it in, handed it to him, came straight home and put my jammies on. Hey, Kate. How are you doing? Is it cold over there in Scotland? It's freezing here. I think it's like 17 degrees. Hey, Sue. How is it down in Alabama? Do you got any snow? Do you got any snow? Listen to me. We finally got some snow yesterday. It's about dang time. Our winter has been, I don't know what the best way. I wish I could bring this closer to me. I've got a blanket on my lap. Look at me. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I've got my hanging with my Nomies jammies on. I know, Jenny, put some slippers on, girl. A lot of times I have slippers on in the house because once my feet are cold, then my whole body's cold and cold but no snow. All right. I'm so glad we have snow, but I want like a couple feet of snow. It was so funny. Last night, Brian was telling me that people were all on Facebook like talking about maybe a snow day for today. He's like, there's not that much snow. I think people just want so bad and are starting to wonder if we'll ever get any snow days this year. So for the school. But yeah, it's been a day already. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm washing bedding. I swear that is like, it's like a 2-day project because for all 5 of us to wash all our bedding, I'm like, ugh. I love the snow too. I loved you with your snowblower out there, Jenny. Your picture on Instagram. Too funny. They're like self-propelled, right? Like I can't picture you like pushing a snowblower. I've never even tried that. Well, yeah, ours is. Brian does it, but I've never even tried doing it before. Jenny all cute. She was all bundled up, out pushing the snowblower. Is it really your own snowblower or are you just joking? I don't know if you guys saw the title for this particular live here. But well, first of all, self-propelled. Okay. You brought it yourself. It's so awesome. I don't know the conversion like between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Don't you wish like the whole world was just on the same system? Well, it's the US who are for whatever reason think we need a different one than everybody else. Um but I'm like, I want to know what people are talking about. I picked it and paid for it. Look at you. It was pretty cool though last night. All you could hear was snowmobiles out here because it's the country. So we always have four-wheelers, dirt bikes, and side-by-sides going up and down the roads. And since it was the first time having enough snow to snowmobile, the snowmobiles were out like crazy last night. So you're just hearing them all night. That's kind of a fun sound. I like it. Okay, 44. That's nice and mild here right now. I'm gonna have to show you guys my nails in a video because I know you won't be able to see them on here. I don't think. Oh, maybe you can. I did them Friday maybe, but they're like part of that Milky Way set that Kate, I know you got, that you do with the magnet. So I just did like, if you can see like a diagonal line across each of them with a magnet. And when you shift, it's like a tiger eye kind of Right now you can only see the blue one here. See how you can see it, but there's like a purple too. You can kind of see it on that middle one. But I'll have to show it in a regular video because you'll be able to see it better. But it's so pretty in person. So Google tells you. Yes, that's how I would have to do it too. Hi, Carla. We had some snow flurries today. It's only going to get up to 31 right now. It's 28. Right now, it's 28. Yeah, I think it's, well, let me see. Yeah, Kate, it's fun. Actually, though, something I will warn you. I saw people say it about the more burgundy color of this, that it hurt their fingers when they put it underneath the light. This right initially when I put it under the light, so you do like the black polish first and cure it, and then do just a light, like a thin layer of the like galaxy looking one or whatever, and then use your magnet however you want to get the design on your nails. And when I initially put it in though with this on, I was like, ouch. Like, I mean, it hurt. It felt like somebody like smashed your fingers like all at once. But then it like was just that one quick thing and then it went away. And so I knew when I put this one in, I was going to do the same thing. And it did. But it was like, I don't know. It was fine. But just so you know, because I did see people say that, but I only heard them say it about the maroon color one. Let me see here. Weather. That's what I was trying to look at the temperature. I'm like, I was picking up my phone for something. I'm not just going to hang out on my phone while I'm on a live. It's 19 and feels like 10. That's what it says. I know. I don't know why it hurts. I don't know if it's something to do with whatever's in it, the property that the magnet attaches to, like that pulls and makes the designs. I don't know, but it did hurt right initially. It was weird. I'm like, but then it's not like my nails are sore or anything, because I would have taken it off right away if it did. I feel absolutely fine. So, well, okay. So, Kate, with your nails right now, go ahead though and do it. Your nails, I feel like my nails grow so dang fast since I've been doing the gel polish. I cut them way down this last time because they were so long, and I hate when I'm trying to type and they're long because just the clickety clacking, and they like, then I hit keys I don't mean to and whatever. And so yeah, I cut them way down. But like I feel like having the gel nail polish on, your nails can't break because they're so like strong from the gel that my nails just grow like crazy. So yeah. Oh, that's something else. I stopped at Dollar General. That's the one thing. I didn't come straight home from dropping the Chromebook off. I stopped at Dollar General because I needed to get some coffee creamer, some of my favorite coffee creamer. You guys, I have not recorded my favorites of 2021 yet. I have all the stuff sitting there ready to do it, like with a list and everything, and I have not done it. And I really want to do it because I think it'll be kind of a fun video because it's not just makeup. It's like food and drinks and TV shows and like that kind of stuff. But I haven't done it yet. And I'm like, here we are at the end of January, Danielle, like get yourself together. But anyway, so the coffee creamer made me think of that because you'll see why. But so I stopped to get some of that stuff and then realized I got home and I'm like, there were like 2 things that I meant to get that I forgot. One of them being the soak off stuff that I use for my nails. Hey, Penny. Yay. I'm coming. Aw. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, good, Jenny. Okay, good. Because I'm like, are people like, yeah, everybody already did those favorites videos. Well, and it's funny because I saw Clara had said, I'm not going to do, or I was going to do a favorites video, but I'm not going to because everyone's doing those. But I'm like, but everyone's favorites are different. So it's still fun to see. I like seeing what people's favorites are. Things are going pretty well. I had a morning scare, but things are good now. This month has gone in a flash. I agree. Oh, we're going to be really cool old people. Oh, whoops, I got something in my cup. It's my mug. I've got my tea in. I have a lovely, what is it? Toasted coconut tea right now. I've been procrastinating since December. I know. I'm excited that I decided to make the change to my schedule that I did. Since I do a live on Tuesday, I'm like, then I don't feel like I also need 3 videos during the week. It's a lot to keep up with, and then sometimes I feel like I'm just sort of, like, quickly throwing stuff together, and I don't wanna do that, like, that's not for fun for me or anybody who's watching, I don't think, and so I'm like, this way, I have a video that is coming up on Sunday, so I'll have a video on Thursday. The one that I have coming on Sunday, I'm super excited about because it's something completely different than I've ever done before. So I hope you guys will like it. I'm excited to see feedback on it. Funny thing is, the Walmart clearance clothing haul that I just put up last week or whatever, Friday, whenever that was. Um, the funny thing about that was I wasn't even going to put that up. It was just kind of a filler video, and it has done so much better than any of my videos have done in months. I'm like, "What?" So, I don't know. I'm like, "Apparently I need to shop more at Walmart and get clearance stuff." I'm like, I don't know what. Uh, Doctor's appointments. That's the thing too. Whenever I have something like that, I always feel like time goes by really fast because I don't wanna do it, and I'm like, "Ugh, I need to call and get us all into a new dentist," which Jenny, I think we're going to that one you go to. Um but it's just like all that kind of stuff. The hard thing for me right now is it's basketball season. And so my son Asher has games on Wednesday and Friday nights, but he's got practice every other night. And so it makes it really hard to fit in because like today I won't stay on here as long as I did last week because they come home, my husband and Asher get home at like 3:30, 3:15 to 3:30, and they have to be back up. They have to leave by 5. And so I want to be able to get dinner made and stuff while they're home. But because then they don't get home till almost 8. And my parents are stopping by tonight and stuff. So I'm like, I know I need to people love to celebrate a bargain. Yes, this is true. Oh, hi Patricia. Sorry, I didn't see you sneak in. I was just blabbing. I guess you probably didn't sneak in. I just didn't see you. I know, and I love, obviously, bargain shopping and clearance and all that. I really wanna make a trip. My throat's doing something weird, I don't know why, sorry. Um, to my favorite thrift store, and I haven't done, like, a car chat vlog in a really long time, like, probably a couple years, to be honest. Um, and those used to do pretty well. People liked those, so I'd like to do that because it takes quite a while to get to where my favorite thrift store is, so it gives me a lot of time to be able to chat in the car and blah blah blah. Just it's funny how when you drive and like ramble, like just different things that come to mind to talk about. Aw, thank you. Hello, hello. Oh wow, that's nice that they are open on Sundays. My goodness, I don't know what my throat's doing all of a sudden. Hi, Myrna. How are you today? Myrna's so sweet. She doesn't want me to go down to 2 videos a week. I'm like, "Really? You wanna see this that often?" Oh, yeah, and don't forget the other thing okay, so one thing in my title was about don't forget about the giveaway. So it is US only this time, I'm sorry. But, if you haven't entered my giveaway, make sure you look for that video. That's the one meet my best friend and my 4-year YouTube anniversary giveaway because it ends this Saturday. So I want people to be able, oh, you're not late. What time is it even? 2:14. Psh, girl, we're just getting wound up. Oh yeah. So missed musicals. Let me tell you guys this story. So my sister Dana got my mom, my sister Delyn, and my niece, who is Dana, my sister Dana, it's her daughter. Um, she got us all tickets to see Hairspray the musical for Christmas. Okay, so it was for the Sunday. So we had to go. You had to have a negative COVID test, like within 72 hours before it. I forgive you. Aw. Um, I things are a ruckus. I I feel you, Penny. I feel you. Anyway, so yeah, so I had to go last Thursday. Well, first of all, last week I had a drippy nose and I kept feeling really dizzy and stuff, and a bunch of people were getting the dreaded. And so I was like, okay, if I could take an at-home test if I test positive, then I'll know to not bother to go and wait at a clinic to get a test because there's like 2 clinics, um, you know, that are fairly near me that will do rapids, but you have to go wait. And there's like an average 2 to 3 hour wait to get it. So I was like, okay, if I might as well get an at home test. And if I test positive, then I'm not going to obviously bother to go. And then I can let my sister know and she can try to get somebody else to use a ticket or whatever. So, I know, no, don't say it. So I'm so late. Do a challenge. Do a challenge this week. What do you mean? Um, but yeah, so I couldn't find an at-home test everywhere. My husband and I split up this list. We spent like almost half an hour calling every pharmacy, whatever, to try to find out if they had at-home tests. They all said they didn't. The next day, my son went in because he had been trying to get some the week before because he had it. And so he went in the next day to a Walgreens and he said they had a whole display of them. So they were just telling people no on the phone, which ticked me off. But anyway, so he picked me up one. So he brought it home and then I did it and it was negative. So I was like, okay, well then I'll go and get like a test done at this clinic. So I got there right before they opened up in the morning. They opened up at 9. So I got there like 10 to 9. There's already a line out the door. Well, they weren't letting people in. It was a line before they were even open. And oh, I don't know anything about that to be honest with you. Um so I get in line and I did not have a super heavy coat with me, but I was like, thank goodness there were gloves in the pockets because it was 17 degrees out and we had to stand out. I was standing outside in line for 20 minutes in 17-degree weather. That was fun. So I finally get in, get all my paperwork, whatever, and then they send you back out to your car and tell you they'll call you when it's your turn. So I was out there for probably like an hour before they called me to come back in. And I went in and got the rapid, and then it took 10 minutes before they, have the results. Which she's like, congratulations, Danielle, you're negative. I'm like, thanks. And so whatever. So I got the paper to be able to show at the musical. So whatever, kind of a pain, but I'm over it. So anyway, Friday night was a fun night. My son had a game and it was a home game and my parents were there and it was a good night. Saturday, my parents came over and my husband made ribs. Again, we had them 2 Saturdays in a row. And because they were supposed to come the week before for ribs, but my son had the dreaded, so they weren't going to come over here. And yeah, had them over for the night watching football and whatever, and they went home. Well, then the next morning, my mom was picking me up to go meet my sister and we were riding together. In the meantime, my other sister had backed out because her husband just had the back surgery December 30th. And so she was like, I just feel worried about risking getting it and giving it to him while he's trying to recover from back surgery and whatever. So she wasn't going. So one of my sisters, like an old student that she used to have, who we've come to know really well over the years, she was going to take the ticket. So I was like, oh, good. At least it's somebody that we know really well. So it would be fun. So my mom comes and picks me up and we go meet my sister and my niece and we get in with them and we're on our way and the other girl's going to meet us there. Now the musical is in Detroit at the Fisher Theater. Okay. So it's not close to where I live. And so it took us a while to get there. And we get down where the Fisher Theater is and we are trying to find parking. So we find this parking garage and my sister pulls in. Well, when we pull in, it's like says something about like badge card only or whatever. Sorry, my son is texting me. And so she's like, oh no, what do I do? Well, there was no one around. So we just backed back out on the street and started to drive. Well, there was a lot that you could do paid parking, whatever. So we pull into it and the guy opens the door from the little like building, whatever. And my sister goes, and he was on the phone. And my sister's like, we're seeing hairspray at the Fisher and we tried to get in the parking garage, but like it won't let us in. And he goes, hold on a second. Can you say that again? And he's like, hey, listen, whatever her name was, Linda. No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember what her name was, but to what this girl's saying. Well, my sister and I both thought he was irritated because we're pulling into their, like, parking area, but talking about the parking garage. But so my sister's like, tells him again, we're going to Hairspray at the Fisher and blah, blah. And he goes, "Yeah, that show got canceled." And we're like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, apparently a bunch of the cast got COVID, and so they canceled last night's show, and they just canceled the 2 shows for today." And he's like, "They put it on Facebook." Excuse me. So we're like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "Yeah, people keep pulling it and trying to figure out what's going on, and it's canceled. And nobody knew about it." And I'm like, "All right." So we pull kind of down the road because we're like, "Okay, what are we doing now?" Try to figure out because now we're already out for the day. However, we want to get out of Detroit to do something that's not like a place we want to hang around. And so, let me see. Let me catch up on what people are saying. Give it a home test. Okay, so the at-home tests we have here, which now we paid or not paid. No, we didn't pay for them. The government sending you 4 per household, which is really helpful since there's 5 of us in our house. I mean, like if you all thought you might have it, but whatever. It seems like it should be 1 per person in your house, but whatever. Um, but like for things like this, like to go to the musical, you can't do an at-home test. It has to be like they said that specifically on the website for the Fisher Theater that it has to be administered at a clinic of some sort or by a doctor. You could do a PCR or a rapid, but you couldn't do it at home. Um, but yeah, so I look on Facebook an hour, an hour before the well, no, I guess it was an hour and a half before the show was supposed to be starting because it was supposed to start at 2 and we got there at like 12:30. Did we? No, 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 we didn't. We got there I don't know. It was like an hour and a half before the show was starting. They put it on Facebook that it was canceled. Okay. Number 1, if the night before shows had been canceled, why wouldn't they have already said that the next days were canceled? Because I don't think everyone's gonna magically recover in that amount of time. 2, I said to my sister, I'm like, "Okay, when you bought these tickets, I'm sure they took your phone number and stuff. So wouldn't you think they would send out, like, some kind of automated call or something like that to people who bought tickets?" And on Facebook, it said, like, if you bought through Ticketmaster or whatever, you'd be getting an email about the situation. Like, my sister checked, they still hadn't sent it. And it's, like, right before the show is gonna be starting. And so I'm like, "Okay," and also, if you're not someone who lives right here in Detroit or right around it, you had to drive quite a ways to get there. So, like, how did they think that that amount of time was enough to give people? I don't know. I thought it was ridiculous. My sister was really upset. Like, she's trying to make this awesome day. Well, we made it an awesome day. We went and saw West Side Story at the movies, and we went out to eat and had Mexican food, and we laughed a ton. And I was so excited because my mom actually sat in the front. My sister drove, and my mom sat in the front, and I sat in the back of the truck with my niece. And it was so fun to just get to spend the day like close with her like that. And we sat next to each other at the movies and stuff too, and we kept giggling and stuff. So it ended up being a really, really awesome day. But I was really bummed because my sister, got these tickets for this musical. And then my mom goes, "Oh, I wish I wish somebody would ask me to see my negative test." And I'm like, "I know. I stood out for 20 minutes in 17-degree weather for nothing." Like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. 4 for 1 person. Oh, it said no, it said 4 per household because and like so because I went to go on and get them, and I told my husband, I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna send in for those tests." He goes, "Oh no, I already did," because it was per household. I don't know why, but that's weird. But yes, oh my gosh, Jenny, is that ridiculous? I was so mad. But West Side Story was awesome. It was so good. I hate when they do like a remake of a musical that was already amazing and they change a bunch of stuff. They didn't do that. It was so much like the original. It was so good. Like the characters in it were awesome. Like the actors who played the characters and stuff. It was really, really good. It was like 3 hours long and it was awesome. Yeah, no kidding, Kate. Yeah, I don't know, Myrna. I mean, she said later that then she did get something about it. Well, it was funny too because she's like, "I think I only bought insurance on 4 of the 5 tickets." And I'm like, "Yeah, but if they canceled the show, it shouldn't matter. Like, you should get your money back for all of it." And actually, it would kinda stink that you even had to pay insurance then because yeah, they should refund your insurance, I feel like, if they cancel. Okay, Carla, maybe. Jenny, there is no makeup show because the last show so it's like, what do they call it? It's like Broadway and I don't know, but it's like a traveling thing. So they travel to different cities. And today was supposed to be the last shows. They've been here for a couple weeks. So then they're supposed to be moving on to the new location. So I don't think they can do that. And plus my mom's leaving for Florida and stuff. So it kind of just didn't work out because we were like, even if today they had done a show again, it's my sister's a teacher. She can't leave. And like my niece couldn't leave school, which this is something awesome too. So my sister and niece that I just went with, they're the ones who the school, I don't want to say it because I don't know if I'll get uh demonetized or whatever. But happened, they just went back to their school building yesterday. And my sister said things went really well. They had like 80 dogs in there for like support, and they have all these support animals that are like support dogs that breeders and stuff like they're training to be support dogs that will be in the schools all the time now and stuff. And so it was really awesome. She had pictures with a bunch of them she was sending us and stuff. It was really cute. Hey, Tish. I always say Tish. See, every time I have to do the Tish wiggle. Tish is the only one who gets the wiggle. I don't know why. I froze the germs out of me. Yeah, probably, Sue. Oh, I just saw that. Huh. I'm thinking she should get all the money back for canceling that, for sure. But yeah, it was so funny. I was like, at one point, so I'm watching the movie, and all of a sudden, so my niece was next to me, and then my sister, and then my mom. And then there was like 2 seats, and then these 2 ladies at the end of and they were like, it's like the theater with the recliners and stuff, you know? So I'm reclined back watching the movie, and all of a sudden, at one point, I see my sister and my niece coming in from the side over here. And I'm like, I never saw them leave. And my niece was sitting right next to me. I'm like, that I must have been very like entranced by the movie. It was pretty funny. It was really good though. Support dogs are amazing. I love it. Um, and this was funny too. I'm sorry, but this lady, so it was like these 2 women, I don't know, they were probably like in their 50s or something, but they were 2 seats down from me, okay? So I hear this woman, the very first song that comes on in the musical, she starts singing it. And I'm like, okay. She continues to sing every single song that comes on. Like, I know them too, but I'm not gonna sit here and sing it because nobody came to that theater to listen to me sing. So she just keeps singing all the songs, and I'm like, "Oh, goodness." And then it gets to one point, I'm not gonna say it in case you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen West Side Story, where have you been? Actually, I was laughing because I said in school, I have always been an English lit nerd. Like, that is something I love. I wanted to go to school to be a college English professor. Like, I love like English lit stuff. So I loved when we would read different books and watch the movies in class and discuss and whatever. And people used to get so annoyed with me. And like, I loved West Side Story. And people were like, seriously, you like actually read that? And they were like getting mad because when we watched the movie, people were talking and stuff. And I'm like, you guys, like, be quiet. Like, I'm trying to hear, you know? And they're like, you're such a nerd. I am a nerd, whatever. I'm fine with it. But so anyway, I won't say what happened in case you haven't read the book or seen it. But basically, this one part when it's something sad happens, this woman, she was doing the sobbing and having to keep blowing her nose. And I'm like, okay, woman, clearly you know you've seen this before because you're singing all the songs. So you haven't just seen it once, you've seen it several times because you know every single song. So you knew this was about to happen. So the fact that you're sitting there crying, like you're devastated, and it was like I got the giggles really bad because I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I'm trying not to like look at her, I'm just sort of like side eyeing because at first I wasn't even sure that she was actually sobbing because I'm thinking, surely this woman is not sobbing next to me. Now, let me tell you, I am not opposed to crying in a movie. If she had never seen the movie before, girl, cry because it was sad. However, if you already know what's coming, it's a little bit different. And I can see like having a little tear or something, but not sobbing. Now, you go to the Notebook for the first time and you've never seen that, girl, you cry, you sob, you're ugly. You're ugly when you come out. But she knew this movie really, really well. And so it was very strange that she was sobbing. Oh, I keep like my hanging with my normies jammies. Oh, I should show you the pants. Even my socks match. So I had these socks on there, nice and soft and fuzzy. And there's my pants with the little, it's not a very good spot, but there's trees and little gnomes. They're kind of Christmassy jammies, but too bad. The color isn't Christmassy to me. Gnomes can be for all winter. But yeah, that was pretty funny though, that lady. She was real into it, man. Pretty funny. And then my niece, we kept laughing because it kept like it would get completely silent. And you're like eating stuff and whatever. And so you'd find yourself with like something in your mouth and you're just sitting there holding it, waiting for noise to happen because you know everyone's gonna be able to hear you chew. Like it's that quiet. Because you know, it's theaters where there's not row after row after row of people. It's the big wide rows where there's only like, well, there were 4 of us. I think there's 12 in a row and there's only 4 rows. And so it's not like there's a ton of people in there. And oh my gosh, it was so hilarious because the one time like I had like spit I needed to swallow. Like I felt like I was going to choke, but I was afraid to swallow because I knew it was going to be loud and I'm like everyone's going to hear me swallow. Like that's so dumb, but it was making me giggly. And then my niece, she kept accidentally hitting the button on her recliner and so it would move the chair. Well, they're like that like pleathery kind of stuff. And so it would make this sound like she was farting. And we just kept cracking up. It was so funny. Oh, Tish, I hear you. I hear you on that one. Oh, that's cool, Sue. Yeah, I loved, and oh my gosh, people would just get so annoyed with me. Honestly, my favorite was in college, A Handmaid's Tale. It just the idea, the concept of it just blew my mind. It's crazy, but is it? Like, it just was such a weird but I remember my college English professor, she was, like, very I don't know how to explain her. I wanna say almost, like, immature because we watched the movie after we read the book, and a big premise of, like, the book is a little bit sexual, you know? And she would, like, fast forward through things. It felt like if you're a kid and you're watching something with your parents and they, like, panicky fast forward through stuff, and everyone's like, "We're in college, like, we're not little kids." It was like she made it really awkward and weird. I was like, "Kinda strange." Oh, goodness. Can't believe I let you go from room girl. Uh, well, yeah, that's like so my son no problem, Penny, I completely understand. I'm so thankful you're here. Um, so my oldest son when we all got COVID last year right after Christmas, he didn't get it because he was there Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but then he left partway through Christmas Day and went to his girlfriend's house. Well, my brother-in-law got there Christmas Day, and everyone who was there once he was there, we all got it. So we knew he was where it came from because he hadn't felt great a couple days before, but he wasn't like feeling super sick either. But we knew that was where it came from. Um, so the rain falls mainly in the plains of Spain. We yeah, so we all got it. So my oldest son didn't. Well, then he got it in April, and then he just got it again like 2 weeks ago. Um, but the thing that was annoying about it, he works at AT&T like selling phones, so he sits at little tables with people, you know, and goes over contracts and whatever. And he said that this woman was in there and she told that they have to wear masks there and stuff. And she said, and just so you know, I have COVID. Like Really? So you come in knowing you have it? Like, how ridiculous. So the thing that stinks about it is, like, he didn't get super sick or anything. He was really tired, was mostly, and the one night he got a headache really bad and threw up once, and then he was fine. But he said otherwise he was just really tired. But then he was fine, and they made it the county we live in, it's supposed to be 5 days, like, after symptoms or whatever, you, can go back to work. And his boss said, "No, no one's doing that. You have to wait 10." And he's like, "No, it's literally a county, like the health department said that." And she's like, "Yeah, but people aren't doing that." So he had to miss 10 days of work almost. I mean, there was the weekend in there, but because of it. And he was like, "This is so dumb. Like, I'm fine, like the first couple days I didn't feel good, but then it's fine." So it's really frustrating all the money that people are missing out on. How is your school thing, Penny? Like ours, they didn't have to wear masks this year, and then right when they got back from Christmas break, they had to wear masks. And the thing but it was like this thing only went through the 28th of January, so then they said they were gonna, see what they felt then, but it doesn't look like they're doing so we're gonna go back to no masks again. So, it's county by county, though, so it depends on but they are not doing the testing athletes. Athletes don't have to wear masks, like, when they're playing games. That was ridiculous that basketball players and stuff it was so dumb. I don't know. Don't even get me started. But, um but yeah, so they're going back to none of that, and oh, yeah. Okay, see, Penny, they are not doing that here anymore. There is not the, like, "Oh, you were exposed," so they're yeah. Yeah, Myrna, and that's the thing. You just never really know. Some people it seems like are more susceptible to it. Um, all of us, like when we've all gotten my husband had it the worst. He had yeah, that's terrible, Penny. It does no good for these kids. Um, but my husband had a fever for a few days when we had it last year after Christmas. That he had it the worst. And that was the worst. Like for the rest of us, it was like a cold. It was not a big deal. And um like I said, when my cousin, my son just had it the second time, same thing. Hey, Heather. Just he didn't even have any cold symptoms or anything. He was just really tired and had that headache that one night that was bad. And like it was literally late at night. He got this. He's like, "Oh, my head hurts," and then he got to the point where he was like, "I think if I feel like it's making me sick," which I'm like, I understand because when I get migraines, that's what happens to me. And so, like I said, he took care of that once and went to bed and he said I couldn't like watch TV or do anything because my eyes just were burning. So he just went to sleep and he woke up the next morning and he was fine. So pretty much everybody that I talked to who has had it, which almost everybody at this point has, and some people twice, it's like a cold at worst. So some people get a fever or whatever, but everybody is different. So you can't say, whatever, but um the whole house. Yeah. What? Heather, why? What the heck happened? That's no good. Oh, okay. I wonder. Oh, that's terrible, Marina. Yeah, that's the thing. You just don't know. You don't know how it's going to affect you. But it sounds like, this particular one is not doing that to people like, at first. We is done. Check. No kidding, Jenny. So funny. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh, that poor baby. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's awful. Ugh. Oh my goodness, Kate. I just think about all the kids, like, it makes me sad that have missed like, last year, there was a whole big group of kids who it's their senior year, and they all missed homecoming and whatever, and because they had to quarantine because they were exposed by somebody in the class. None of them ever even ended up getting it or anything, and they all had to miss out on that, and I think that's so senseless. I'm glad they are not doing that anymore because it was ridiculous. I feel so bad for so many of those kids. There was actually quite a few kids at the end, of last year. There was something else because they have, like, a senior all-night party and, like, they do all these big things that kids couldn't go to, and I'm like, it's just so stupid. We're taking so much away from people. Oh, oh, it's good about the tooth, but oh my goodness, a concussion? That poor baby. Aw, I'm so sorry. I'm so glad it's all gonna be good though, like, but that is so scary. Dang it, as a mom, when stuff happens to your kids. Ugh, just makes you ugh, makes me sick to my stomach just thinking about it. Yeah, they did lose a whole year of events. And, like, so my son Riley graduated in 2020. So that whole second half of they weren't even, like, at school and stuff, which he didn't care because he is not into, like, the social, like, dances and that kinda stuff. But, it happened right after bowling season ended, so they got to go to states to tournaments and stuff, and then everything started shutting. And so he was like, "Cool, got through bowling stuff, and now the rest, whatever." And so they ended up doing their graduation outside, and they all wore masks and stuff, and their seats were all spread out, and they had the stage outside and stuff. So it worked out okay. And like I said, he's not a kid who cared about that stuff. But for the ones who did, like, and missed out on all those last things of your senior year, I felt so bad for those kids. Stinks. Aw, cool, Sue. My youngest will graduate next year. And I'm not mad about it. I will miss basketball the most because we've been sitting in gyms for 17 years straight at this point between my youngest and my oldest, and um yeah, and now my youngest. But so yeah, it'll be 18 years straight that we've sat in gyms watching basketball. And I'm like, that's gonna be so weird to not have basketball stuff. Aw, Heather. I know. That's why I'm always like, oh my gosh, like I don't want something like that to happen in when they're with me. But then it's like easy to feel like that blame kind of thing if it's with somebody else. Oh my gosh. And see, we started the school year with no masks. Nobody wore masks until right after Christmas this year, like when they went back in January, and people weren't getting it that much. People have been getting it now. Actually, that's pretty funny. Since it came back from Christmas and we're wearing the masks, everyone's been getting it. So I don't know. Who even knows? Oh, okay. You have two in high school right now. 20 years ago today. That's too funny, Kate. Happy anniversary. No, I don't remember the date of when my husband did, but oh, am I glad he did. Yep. Oh, wow. That's so crazy, Heather. Aw, too funny. Yeah, I do miss I was actually thinking about it this morning. I miss Riley being in bowling. I loved going and sitting in the bowling alleys and watching, matches and tournaments and stuff. I don't know, there was just something fun about it, and the bowling like, the group of kids who bowls are, like, a totally different type of kid than who play basketball or you know what I mean? And I don't know, I loved it. It was just it was a really I just really enjoyed it, and we'd eat bad bowling alley food. It was fantastic. Like some french fries and actually this one place, um, made pork rinds, and I love because growing up, my parents and my grandpa owned a bar restaurant hotel, and we made fresh pork rinds there, and I always loved them warm like that out of the fryer, and you never get those anywhere. I never see that. And this one bowling alley had them, so I would get them every time we went there because I was like, oh yes, so good. Happy That's so funny. Oh my gosh, Martin, that's crazy. Got your tubes tied and then he had 2 more. That is crazy. If God wills it, girl, there's nothing you can do about it. Wow. Oh, wow. 10 pounds, 13. That's crazy. Aw. Oh, that's so cool, Heather. That would be so fun. Hi, Faye. I hope you're enjoying being home with your mom. Oh, yeah, volleyball games. I haven't been to a volleyball game since Gavin was in school because Noelle played volleyball, so we went and watched her a few times, but yeah, I haven't been to volleyball in forever. So crazy. And it's so funny too, the things like you spend all this time when your kids are young doing, and it's like sometimes you're like, "Oh my gosh, like is this ever gonna end?" And then though as it starts getting close to the end, you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is about to end." Like it's so weird. And it's funny because at least with like Gavin, I was like, okay, well, I still have Riley and Asher. And then after Riley, I'm like, well, I still have Asher. But now Asher's getting to the end. It's like, wow. But at the same time, like I'm excited to see like these next stages of life, like for them and for us. Dyed and burnt. That's hilarious. Uh, that's awesome, Sue. We bowling is fun. We don't have that anymore, but we used to play it all the time. Oh, that's too funny, Heather. Everybody shows up at the same time. Like, I got nothing for you. Just give me my packages. See you later. That's funny. Yeah, I actually know somebody who um both of the people were from like divorces and then they got married and she had only one ovary and he had a vasectomy and they ended up having 2 kids. So, pretty crazy. And he didn't get it reversed. It just like apparently didn't work or it grew back or whatever because that can happen. Yep, and then grandbabies come. That will be fun. I tried to Brian wouldn't let me. We were at the store the other day and I saw the cutest little Winnie the Pooh, like, sleeper. It was the cutest though, because there's, like, gaudy Disney stuff, and then there's the really cute stuff. And it was just because it can go for a boy or a girl, and I was like, "Oh, I wanna buy this for a future grandchild." And he's like, "Danielle." I'm like, "Just let me have fun." It's gonna be expensive when we have grandchildren. Wow. Too funny, Penny. It is crazy. Oh, I bet, Heather, that would be a lot of stuff coming to your house. Dang, Heather, that's crazy. See, it makes you just wonder how, well, these things work. Oh my gosh, Tish, that's hilarious. You're like, actually, I think I need to do some shopping. I think I've earned some shopping here. They DNA tested her. That's hilarious. Wow. I cannot even imagine. Like I said, if it's God's will, there's nothing you can do about it. You think, you know, great are the plans that men make. It's the Lord's who prevail, right? That's not the exact quote from that scripture, but you get the idea. Oh my gosh. I know that would be so funny to have grandkids older than one of your kids. Cannot even imagine. Ugh. So, good news. I told my husband, I'm like, okay, I think I talked about this last week on my life about needing to just plan a weekend to work on my basement. And so I said to my husband yesterday, I'm like, we don't have plans this weekend, right? And he's like, I don't think so. I said, well, we do now because we're getting in that basement. He's like, all right, let's do it. So that's going to be something I'm going to be working on. I will most likely somewhat video it, at least showing you like before, partway through, that kind of thing. Because you guys, I'm going to put it all out there. I'm going to let you see the ridiculous disaster that we are. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to show you because it'll just make it that much more amazing when you see what we do to it, because I'm so over it. I just gave my sister and niece a whole box of makeup when we were supposed to go to the musical the other day. And then I gave my mom some makeup. I am putting together a box of jewelry to give to my other sister. And I'm like, I'm just moving stuff on out of here. That is so funny. Oh my gosh, I bet. Funny for people who like see that interaction too. Like, what? That's your aunt? Not ready for the next phase yet, Kate? Not ready for grandkids? Survived menopause. No, Heather, they canceled it. We were already there looking for parking and found out. They canceled it like an hour and a half before the show was supposed to start. And it was in Detroit. So we drove all the way to Detroit for nothing. But we ended up going and we drove away from Detroit and we went to the movies and saw West Side Story, and then we went out to eat, and we made a really good day of it. So it was fun. We went shopping. We went to Target. It was good. Hey, Mr. J, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, Kate, same for me. Like, given and while they're not engaged yet, I know it's coming soon, but I'd rather them, like get married first and get their own house. They can't live here with a baby. I don't think her mom wants them living at her house with a baby. Oh, I bet, Penny. That's hilarious. I love it. That is too funny. Oh my gosh, this was so funny. This lady from our church that I used to be really close to, we haven't talked now for years. You just kind of things happen like that. There's nothing happened like bad, but you just kind of, friendships kind of come and go or whatever. But we were like really close for a while. And she has three daughters and a son. And we would go shopping, her and I and her three daughters, and people would think I was one of her daughters too, which is hilarious. I don't think she liked it, but she's 10 years older than me. And truthfully, because I'm short and stuff, and now this was probably, well, it was over 10 years ago because I still lived um, at my other house. And so, I mean, 10 years ago, I was a lot younger than I am now. I was early 30s. So it's like, I, I guess but I could tell, oh, she hated it so much that other people thought I was her daughter. Like, I'm one of the young girls and she's the mom. That was pretty funny. Oh no. Why do you have a little pain? I actually feel like I'm getting a headache, which is not cool, but it's right about that time where those things happen for me. That's why I was like, I am not sitting on the floor today. I'm like, I am sitting on my couch in my pajamas with my blanket and my tea. Hope you guys don't mind. It's kind of a boring backdrop because, well, up here is like my like stuff that's on the wall and whatever, um but yeah, you can't see that from right here. Unless you want me to just angle it that way so you can't see me and you can just look at the stuff behind me. Don't tell me if that's what you want me to do, that'll hurt my feelings. No, I'm just kidding. I still have my I'll have to show you guys. Well, maybe I'll sit in front of it for next week's live. Um, my winter wonderland over on the other side of my living room. I'm like, I'll just move around the house for my lives because I think that'll be fun. You always get a different background. It'll help. If you have to see the same thing all the time, at least you'll have a different background to look at, right? Uh, yeah, I'm so excited for Sunday's video. I had fun doing it. I'm trying some new, like, don't expect something amazing from the editing, but I mean, just trying some different things with like transition type things and stuff. It's gonna take some time and some work, okay? But just go with me on this little ride. Um, because I'm just having fun trying different stuff and whatever. So I hope that you guys will like it too. I have one more little actually, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spoiler alert. I think I'm gonna go after I make dinner and stuff and Brian and Asher leave for practice, because they'll be on for a couple hours. I think I am going to just wash off my eye makeup and record a quick other little eye makeup thing that then I can put together because I have the other two parts of it, um, for a video that I'm doing. And then I can get that up for Thursday, I think. I think what I'm gonna try to do is do like a makeup video and like a kind of non-makeup video each week. So there's some like little different yeah, variety is the spice of life. Exactly, Sue. So I think that's what I'm trying to do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully that will work out well. We'll see. And like I said, if something pops up, like when I get Ipsy, I like to put that up right away. Or if there's just something, when my Walmart beauty box comes, I like to put that up right away. So there might be times that there's more than 2 videos a week. So it'll just depend on what's going on or whatever. And I still have to my son, though, I was talking last week about reviewing products, and the only one I have right now is one my son is actually using that we're gonna be reviewing, but I have not had the time between his work schedule and when I've been gone. I haven't had the time to, like, coordinate with him to do the video, and so I need to do that and get, that taken care of, and then I don't think I'm gonna do any product reviews for a while because I just feel like they're kind of overwhelming me, to be honest. Um, what's for dinner? Well, it's gonna be very easy. It's sauerkraut and kielbasa and corn and cottage cheese. I like all of those things together when I make sauerkraut and kielbasa. Kate, you're so funny. And I've got a lot of stuff for content for with like the new palettes I got and stuff like that. So I have stuff that I'm excited to do, but I just want to try to like just have more substance, not just rush through things because it's like, oh, I just need to show this palette or whatever. Like I want to do more with it. So I'm trying to think. So it's hard in my house sometimes because Asher typically is a picky eater, but then there's some things that he likes that, like, he loves fish and the other two don't. And so it's like, ugh. But then most things he doesn't like and the other two do. So I'm like, but then Gavin isn't home a lot of times for dinner. So a lot of times it doesn't even matter whether he likes it or not. And so the funny thing is, I think it's only going to be Brian, Asher, and I for dinner tonight. And I'm making something that Asher doesn't like. I actually just keep the kielbasa out separate because he doesn't like sauerkraut. Chili and cornbread. Yep, that's a good one too. I like that one. Actually, I need to figure out what to make for dinner. Oh no, tomorrow I won't be home because there's basketball. Oh my goodness. Tomorrow's game, Jenny, you will understand this, is in Harbor Beach. Jenny, you know where Harbor Beach is. Yeah. That is such a long trip. Oh my goodness. And it's even worse on the way home. Like, not looking for it's the one I dread every year for every sport because it's, like, just so far away. Because I think it's over an hour and a half, I'm sure, or at least an hour and a half. Ugh. Oh, okay, and yes, cornbread is so good. I also love that you can buy the, like the Chi-Chi's brand ones because I always loved that sweet corn cake stuff that they made. That is so dang good. Kraut and wieners. Yes, Jenny. So at least it's not supposed to snow, right? I don't think it's supposed to snow. Sweet banana peppers in your cornbread? That would be good. I didn't even think about that. They had single serve cups of sauerkraut at McDonald's. Not our McDonald's. I've never seen sauerkraut at McDonald's around us. I know in different areas they have different things. Oh, yes. Those long drives, Jenny. My dad and I, we were talking the other day at a game about like when we were younger, the league that our area was in, because we live in the same area that we did growing up. My parents graduated from a couple towns over, so like we're all in the same area, and our schools all played each other. And now none of them do. We play way far away. It's like, oh, I hate it so much. Oh, that's cool, Carla. Yeah, I don't do many collabs anymore. Well, for one, I get overwhelmed a lot of times. So I kinda done it down where I would do only 1 a month. So, like, I already have one for February, with Katie, Tattooed Mama, because she had asked me last month about doing one. And so, we had planned that, and I think it's gonna be a fun one because it's with House Labs stuff. And the only reason she got House Lab stuff was because she saw that I had been getting it and she liked the stuff I was getting. So she ended up getting one of their mystery boxes. And she got a lot of awesome stuff in it. So we're gonna do a video. But yeah, otherwise I don't do a lot of collabs because well, I've had some really bad experience with some collabs. I'm just gonna be honest. Obviously I do my the thrifted look for less challenge every month, which is a collab, except for I didn't last month. That stunk. I hated that I didn't get to do it. But I have had some very bad experiences with collabs, and so it kinda turned me off to them a little bit. So, I'm like I mean, there have been some super stressful ones that I was like, "Okay, why am I doing this?" So, um, so yeah, Frankenmuth McDonald's. Oh, that would make sense, Jenny. Frankenmuth obviously is a German town. It's like a really cute German town, so that would make sense that they would have sauerkraut there. Well, sauerkraut okay, sauerkraut is German, but what am I thinking of? I guess maybe because people put Polish sausage in it. I don't like Polish sausage. Sorry if that offends anybody. I don't like it. I'm sorry if you're Polish and I said I don't like your sausage. I'm just kidding. It's the fennel. It's the fennel that gets me. I'm not a big fan of fennel. Oh, in Washington State. Okay. My son, Riley. I better respond to him because he's like, oh, no, you don't respond. Gotta answer your kids. No. Never had cornbread or sauerkraut? Oh no. Would you ever do a video on collabs gone wrong? Oh, and you're making borscht tonight, Penny? Aw, yum. I'm totally gonna have to make it. Um, I don't know because I think some of the people that it was a disaster with don't realize that it was a disaster, which is part of the reason it was a disaster. Um, yeah, I don't know because I wouldn't want to make anybody feel bad. Some of them were just downright ridiculous, like but still, I don't wanna call people out. But some of them, I wouldn't wanna make people feel bad, but it's like, it was just not a good experience, we'll put it that way. I feel like you should definitely really get to know someone for a while before you do a collab with them, I will say that. So that's something I would not collab with somebody new again, like somebody fairly new to me. I want to, like, get to know them because, for instance, one person she was like really raunchy in her video when we did a collab, and that is not me at all. And I I'm not judging other people for the way that they are, but I feel like when you're connecting yourself to somebody else, some of you know what I mean? Like if there's somebody who's way off from what you want to represent yourself as or how you do you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to say it because I don't want to sound snotty or something or like, oh, I'm better than this person because I'm not. It's just I'm not into like swearing a lot and stuff like that. I don't really hardly swear at all. And like I don't like when people are just like dropping F bombs and whatever. And it was like, I don't know, it just made me uncomfortable because then I'm thinking like, okay, then people I'm sending over to this person who I know are not that way at all are probably like, what? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. And like I didn't know her well enough to know that that's how she was. And so I probably wouldn't have collabed. Plus, it wasn't just that with that particular person. It was a thing after thing after thing going on that I was catching lies, and it was just it was a bad experience. I'll just say that. And like I've even had like where I didn't end up going up because it's like no, 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 like I can't do this. So now I'm just much more careful. Uh, like almost everything. That's my problem. I do too, honestly. Food stuff, like there's really hardly anything I don't like. Just mushrooms. Just don't give me mushrooms. White mushrooms, not cooked on a salad or even just by themselves. All right, dipped in some ranch or something. Okay. But as soon as it touches a pan, I'm done. Oh, my husband would love that, Myrna. He likes all the peppers and spicy stuff. Not I. And smoking on the video. Yeah, if it was I don't care if they're smoking cigarettes, but I wouldn't want them smoking something else. We'll just say that. Ooh, that's cool, Penny. I can't wait to hear how that turns out. The Thrift or Less challenge is awesome. I do love that. Definitely, definitely. That's one I love doing. I've met such great people. I love that we're from literally all over the world and just, all different types of people. And that's the thing. I am definitely not someone who's like, well, I only would collab with these types of people. That's not what I mean at all. And you can tell that if you look through collabs that I've done. There's all different types of people, but there's certain things that you have your values about stuff, and there are things that you don't compromise on. And so it seems strange then to like when you do a collab, you're kind of like promoting this other person to your viewers. And if it's somebody who does not at all, and I don't even mean that because people who are different than me, that's awesome. It's not that. But if there's things that are specific that are like your value type things and morals that person does not feel the same way, that's a tough thing because your viewers watch you for a reason. Like you connect with people. And so then it feels weird to send them to somebody who's like going places with values and morals that are not yours. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope I'm coming across right. I don't know how to say it. I'm trying to be like not sound like a jerk. I don't know. I'm not a jerk, I promise. I don't know. Oh, and I know that is so hard. So hard to quit smoking. And I'm not talking about smoking cigarettes on camera. That's not when she said smoking on camera, I'm picturing smoking something else. And that's not me. That's not something I would promote. It's just not, what you do, you do. Like that's fine. But that's just not me. And so it would seem strange if I'm suddenly like, I don't know. Oh, it is triggering to you, Sue? It's funny because, like, I remember, a girl talking to me who also used to be an alcoholic, because I used to be, if people don't know, and she said, "Do you have a hard time being places where people are drinking?" And I'm like, Not at all." Like, I'm around it all the time. I come from family, both sides of my family are big drinkers, not my husband's family, but my mom's side and my dad's side, and, like, to a fault. And, so I would have to literally never be around family if I couldn't handle being around it. Um, but also, she said she had a hard time, like, being in places like Applebee's or, like the, sports bar type, places to eat, because the sounds of the glasses and the smells and stuff were triggering to her to make her want to drink. And I honestly have none of that at all. Actually, the smell of alcohol completely disgusts me. There are certain drinks that I cannot drink, like, the Bai drinks, BAI. I love a lot of, like, the fruity ones, and I love coconut, but the whole line of their coconut drinks, because there's, like, coconut pineapple and I don't know, there's a bunch of different ones. I cannot drink them because to me, it gives me like a memory of, like, an alcoholic drink, and it makes me feel sick. Like, I cannot stand it. And so, it's funny because it's like that has been so, um, just it's so disgusting to me that I know I would never go back to it. It's funny. I mean, I'm glad it's that way. um, but it would be very hard if it is triggering to you to be in certain situations. I'm thankful that it's not for me, but yeah. Penny, that's funny. And that's the thing too. It's not like I'm never around people who swear, or like I never ever swear or something, but it's not my vocabulary. And I have, like, a couple family members, not like my sisters or parents, or, well, my dad sometimes, but, like, I most people in my family and stuff are not people who just constantly swear all the time when they're talking. And so, it is something, and honestly, it's not even so much swearing. The F word does drive me nuts when people use it, um, like, constantly. Because, like, my one brother-in-law uses it like every other word. Seriously, I'm like, what you're saying doesn't even make any sense. Um, there's like a habit for him. The one for me is when people say like JC or GD. I cannot stand it. Like, it bothers me. And so, that bugs me. But otherwise, swearing's just swearing, but I don't know. I just am like, what's the point? I get it when you're mad. See, that's the thing. To me, it's like I say the SHIT word if I hurt myself or get scared. Like, for some reason, it's like it just flies out of my mouth without any, and which is awful, because it could be really embarrassing. But, in certain situations, but, like, otherwise, I don't just walk around and swear about stuff. It's just not me. And even though I did grow up around some people, because my dad does kind of swear more and stuff, it's just never been something that I have done. Mm. And even my dad, it's funny because 'cause he'll say stuff sometimes, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like, while he's talking, because it's like he's even more aware of that he's doing it. And then he has even said around certain people, like my grandma hates it. Like, if people say the F word around her, she is angry. And so he doesn't. And I'm like, "Okay, if you can control it around her, then you can always control it." So, like, I don't understand. It's funny. Yes, exactly, Tish. You want some of your values to align and for everyone to be respectful. And I want to be respectful of other people's. Like, and that's the thing. I wouldn't expect somebody who's an atheist to necessarily want to do a a collab with me, because I'm obviously very outspoken that I love Jesus. So, like, there's just things, and it would be weird for somebody who has, they're everyone who watches them is all into, say, like, it's somebody who's really into witchcraft or something, and then they send them over to me. Like, that would be weird, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of like doesn't really make sense. Penny. Rude people stink. I don't like it. Yes, I think Penny is sweet. She's only ever been sweet to me, so unless something changes. Yeah, and that's what I mean, like, I'm like, "Why are you saying that constantly? It doesn't even make sense, like, quit doing that." And then I get where I'm like, I can't even hear what the person is saying because it's, like, all I can focus on. I totally get that it could be triggering, Sue. That makes sense. Penny, that's funny. Well, that's my dad, and my dad's a big guy. He's 6'5", well, you've seen pictures and stuff, and he that is him, like, if he's I mean, that's his first offense, he's gonna swing, and that's he's like I've almost knocked people out before because, like, come up behind them, scare them, like, think they're being funny. Like, you don't do that to somebody. Like, "Don't scare me, I'll knock you out." Not on purpose, but tomorrow is Australia Day. That's cool, I didn't even know that. So what kind of celebrating do they do? Oh, no, Tish. Yeah, and that's the thing too, I'm like, "Okay, if you're with, like, your group of friends, somewhere, whatever, it's whatever how you talk or whatever, it's whatever." I'm saying whatever a lot, whatever. But, like, there's kids running around, and your grandma's right there, and it's like, like, just kinda, keep that in check. Well, don't make her mad. She's sweet until she's mad. Aw, thank you, Penny. Her name is Oh, hi, Stacy. I'm like, "Oh, somebody said hi, Stacy. Where'd she come in at? Now I see ya." Oh, no, Penny. I can see that happening though. Like, and that's the thing. It's like you think it's funny to scare people. And I mean, I do sometimes. I scared my son yesterday so bad. It was awesome. It was totally unintentional. Hold on. Okay, similar to our 4th of July. I kind of wondered that too. I almost said that even. So my oldest son, I got up and I could hear he was in the shower getting ready for work. And I got up and I was like in the kitchen getting my coffee and whatever. And his alarm started going off on his phone in his room. So I can hear it keep going off. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go in and shut it off. Cause clearly he was out of the shower, but like the exhaust fan was still on in the bathroom and stuff. So I'm like, I don't think he can even hear it. So I go in his room and he's got a king size bed. So I lay across the bed because his phone's like way on the other side by the wall. And I go to shut off the alarm. And all of a sudden I hear behind me, oh my gosh, you just scared the crap out of me. And I turn around and he's like this, but he's got his towel around his waist, which I'm glad the towel didn't fall because that would have been a really awkward moment. But he's like, I'm like, oh, my alarm's going off. And I come in and there's just a person laying across my bed. I totally just drooled. I just spit like crazy. I am a llama. Leanne, where are you? I get excited. I spit. It's what happens. He learned very quickly. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Yeah, I scared the heck out of him. And it's so funny. I scare him a lot because I'll like go to like and it's funny because it's like it just happens to be sometimes when he's at home in the evening because usually he goes from work to his girlfriend's most of the time and comes home kind of late. And, but sometimes, like, if she's going out with friends or whatever, sometimes she's just staying home and relaxing or going to work out or whatever. And so he'll come home and he'll like lay on his bed and play video games. Well, I go in and out with like laundry and stuff. And I scare him so many times. He's like, "You're so quiet. Like, I don't know you're there." And all of a sudden, there's like a person. I'm like, okay. So then, like the other day, I knocked and he's like, "Yeah?" And I'm like, "Well, I just wanted to bring in some clothes and I didn't want to scare you." He goes, "It was like a really aggressive knock." And I'm like, I literally did it with like the end of my ring finger because I had hangers in my hand and clothes in this arm. I'm like, "How was that aggressive?" Like, I'm scaring him knocking now. I can't win. Like, I said, "Quit shutting your stupid door and like just leave it cracked and then it won't freak you out every time somebody comes in." It's funny. But I guess it would be creepy to like oh, my alarm's going off and go run in to shut it off and someone's laying across your bed. That would weird me out. Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, I had a dream last night. It was right before my alarm went off this morning, and I was so glad my alarm went off. It was, like, perfect timing because it was like I was at these people's house and I had just met them, and everything was awesome. Actually, some of my family was there, and it was like they were people I knew from online, and my family was meeting them, and it was, like, so cool. Well, then it was like all my family left, and it's the next morning, and for some reason, I'm still there at this house with these people, and there's, like, a couple guys and a couple girls, and I am going out to my car and they're kind of carrying stuff too. And all of a sudden I realized they're carrying this is really creepy. This tells you I watch way too much true crime. They were carrying like rolls of like Visqueen or like tarp kind of stuff and things that I knew were like they're gonna kill me. They're like gonna murder me somewhere. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get in my car and lock the doors, right? And get out of here. And so my shoes were like halfway on my feet. And so I like sat on the and I'm like talking to him like everything's normal, trying to keep things cool. Like I have no idea what's going on. And I'm like, oh, I need to sit on my seat right here and put my shoes on the rest of the way. And as I went to do it and like was putting on my feet, so I'm gonna fling my feet in the car and like shut the door. It's like they realized it. So I'm trying to shut the door and they were pulling it. And my alarm went off. And I was like, oh, thank God. I'm like, I told my husband, I'm like, I was about to be abducted. Like it totally freaked me out. So yeah. So don't, like meet people online and go spend the night at their house and be by yourself. I wouldn't suggest it because they will try to abduct you and they will be preparing like a kill room for you. That's what happened to me. Stay in progress. Son of a squirrel chaser. This is true. Yeah, no detention for that. You can't get in trouble for that. Ooh. Hey, at least it was his arm and not his head, right? I know, Kate. I have a very overactive imagination. That's my husband's like, "You're probably one of the last people who should watch true crime stuff." But, it's true. I'm like, I am not gonna be stupid. I'm not gonna do stupid things, even though in my dream I was stupid. Like, seriously, Danielle, why would you do that? But yeah, it's like people are scary, man. It's a horrible, but it's like you can't trust people. Like I find myself like I am a friendly person. I smile at people and like the other day I was going into Walmart and there were these two guys standing out there and I kind of see them around that town and I think they kind of just travel. I don't know if they're homeless, maybe, I'm not sure. But always super friendly and the one man was like, "Hey there," and I'm like, "Hi," and he's like, "You have a beautiful smile," and I'm like, "Thank you," and I'm going in and it's like you just want to be friendly and kind to people because they might be absolutely fine and friendly and have no ill intention. But there's so many people who do. And so it's scary. Like you have to be smart. So then as I'm in the store, I'm thinking, okay, if I come out and they're still there, because now I've been in there for quite a while, like then it's kind of nerve wracking. Like I don't really want to walk over to my car by myself and be putting stuff in my car. You know what I mean? Like, so it makes you like think things like that people might be like, it's like you have to think that people might be capable of something like that, and I hate to even have to think that way about somebody. This is true, Jenny, yeah. Talking So I met these people online, and I went and stayed at their house. They were trying to abduct me and set up a room to, kill me. That's funny, Penny. It's like my youngest son. Actually, okay, so my youngest son is my tallest son now. And well, I think he has been for a little bit, but now he's really my tallest son. He grew, was it 3/4 of an inch since Halloween? He is 6 feet now. 6 foot, 6 feet tall. Yeah, 6 feet tall. I love me some true crime. Yes, okay, because they can happen. But I think people need to be aware because it's amazing some of the situations people get themselves into, and it's because you have this like in innocence. You want to see the best in people, which is an amazing quality. That's what I want to that is how I want to view people. But you do have to be smart. There are a lot of people out there who do not have good intentions, and it's like some of that true crime stuff, it really makes you aware. Um he doesn't know it yet, but he's taking me. I love that, Myrna. That's funny, Kate. There's a lot over here. Yeah, parking lot's scary, and I see people on their phones walking out to their car, totally unaware of anyone around them. I'm like, "That is dumb." Like, that is dumb. Do not be on your phone in a parking lot looking at your f like, pay attention to what's around you. My dad has always, since we were little kids, said, "Be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings." And we grew up in a tiny little hick town, but it does not matter because you need to be aware of what's going on around you. Ugh. Oh, thank goodness, Sue. Yeah, that is scary. And don't ever feel write a book. Write even. Penny, I love that. Oh, I love you. Um, bye, Anne. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, I will see you next week. I look forward to it. Oh my goodness, Grace, but like kind of scary. Like, why are you following me? But nice that they came to tell you that they did it. That is not usual either. Yep, Penny, I don't blame you. Be ready before he has a chance to sit down. I love it. Oh, that's cool, Tish. I know what you're saying, Jenny. Yes, but I am actually what I am very intrigued by is not intrigued by, but I'm totally baffled by how people can go missing. Like that just freaks me out in today's day and age, like how people can go missing and people have no idea what happened to them. Ugh. But I just want people to like think about stuff because you can get yourself in very scary situations and it's okay. Like, don't ever be embarrassed. I know I've talked about this before. To if you feel uncomfortable, tell somebody in a store, like, ask, can someone walk me out to my car or whatever? Because who cares? Who cares if people think you're a nutcase because you think somebody might be following you? Well, at least they're not. Like, at least you're not by yourself or, whatever. Like, you have to be smart about things. It's just, there's a lot of scary people out there and people are way too, um, trusting, and yet you want to be a trusting I am a trusting person, but you have to be smart about it. And, you know, I don't know. I'm not above like Facebook stalking people and getting to know some things about them. Like because you just need to. And I mean, and that's such a surface thing. But there's a lot of times you can tell different things from stuff that people post and whatever that it's like, I don't think I'd wanna, like you just need to be smart. Ah, that's so scary, Grace. It's like, how does that happen? So many businesses and homes and everything have cameras. So how do people just vanish and there's no like trail of where they went or uh yes. That's I'm like, don't feel embarrassed. If you feel even a little bit uncomfortable, trust those instincts. God gives us those feelings for a reason. Like I fully believe that. There have been plenty of people in my life who I'm like, initially met someone and go, there is something about that person. It is not okay. And they end up being a person that you should think that way about. Like, trust what God gives you. Like, He will let you know. But there's those real crafty people. Kate. Too late. I already know you're crazy. Nice try. I'm way ahead of you. That's too funny. Well, actually, we were just talking about my son Riley and I yesterday about, people with stuff about the devil and him being scary or okay, so we like metalcore kind of music and there's a lot of screaming, and it sounds, for people who don't know and don't not all of it's this way, he likes a bunch of it, but I like the Christian ones. And for people who don't know what they're saying, it sounds kind of like, what the heck is that, right? Well, um I'm like, the thing is, people have this idea of like, oh, that sounds demonic, or um whatever, like different things. And I'm like, the thing is, the devil, and actually I've heard a couple different pastors talk about this, how the devil is not this ugly, scary, I mean, he is, but that's not how he presents himself. He presents himself as very attractive and cunning and something you want to be around, and something you, so it's like people have this idea that you'll know right away when something's like evil or whatever. No, that's not true, because that would be way too easy to be like, know about it. It's the ones that are like the very like, um what's the word I'm looking for? Like suave. You know what I mean? Like suave. Who says that? Like, how old am I? But you know what I'm saying. Your brother's a perfect example of what, Penny? Oh, heck yeah, Kate. There are some people you can tell right away. Oh my gosh, Tish, that is creepy as heck. Oh my gosh. That would make me, ugh, make your skin crawl. That's funny, Penny. Yep. And that's the truth. Ugh. Like I've said a million times before, when you judge people by the way they look, that's not what I'm talking about. The people that I have, like from the time I met them, it had nothing to do with their looks. It was like you get that feeling, and like something is not right about this person, and you need to trust that. No, Sue. I know that's scary. And that is a hard situation too, because it's like, um, even places like Detroit or Chicago is a big one where my husband and his brother ran into some kind of scary situations there and stuff. And it's like, these are people, and I'm not going to overlook people and act like they aren't there. You know what I mean? Like, but then at the same time, you have people telling you just don't look at them, don't talk to, and it's like, that is such a hard thing, because it's like, okay, this is a person who is calling out to you with a need, or at least pretending to have a need, and like, the humanity in you wants to help, but then people who live in these areas and know the situation a lot of times are like, Don't," like, whatever, for like, you give money to that one, you're going to have five more coming up to you and whatever. And I'm like, but they're people. Like, the way, I don't know, that is such a hard thing for me. I have a hard time with stuff like that. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Penny. Yeah, like, that's the thing. Some of the dang nicest people I know, I can see why some people would look at them and be like, but and that's why it's such a pity. What am I saying? I'm talking like an 80-year-old woman. Oh my gosh. It's sad that people judge people by their looks, because it's stupid. It's stupid. It's as simple as that. The devil in blue jeans. Yeah. Like, he makes himself real attractive. He makes the things he wants you to do that he knows are bad real attractive. It's not ugly stuff that's scary, because then he wouldn't want to do it. It's stuff that seems attractive to you. That's how it works. Oh, that's a good idea, Tish. I can feel, you're gonna hear, my husband and son just got home, so I know they're gonna be coming in and blabbing, because I'm sure they don't think I'm sitting out here. Yes, trust your gut feeling. It's better to maybe be off and think something, but be cautious, than to be like, "Oh, no, I'm sure it's fine," and then have something happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you do need to keep track and not ignore. Agreed. I said you guys were coming in and you'd probably blab.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sure they don't expect me to be sitting right here.
No, that's a new spot for you.
This is
Oops, sorry.
rude. He's dropping keys on the floor, making all sorts of noise. Got to make sure everyone knows you're
I
here.
guess.
Oh, no problem, Heather. What? Someone said it didn't look good. Who said that? And why didn't it look good? I don't remember thinking your picture didn't look good. Hi, Asher.
It's a nice setup you got there.
They like my setup. You're sitting on a stool in front of me. Actually, I'll just show you. Oh, here's Asher. Say hi.
Hi.
You're sitting on this stool here in front of me. That's how I'm set up. I hope I didn't make you sick spinning you around like that. Yeah, that's not a bad thing, Sue. Oh my gosh, Heather, I love you so much. When people tell me I don't look good, I know they're lying. I love that. Oh my gosh, I love you. That is the best. And you're right. You're right. Agreed, Tish. Seriously. Who would even say that? Like, if there was something that was like looked off, like, you know how sometimes the way you perceive something, or like you take a picture and you know exactly what the situation was or whatever. So you see it the way you know it was. But something might look weird to somebody else, like it looks like something's happening that wasn't. Then I could see being like messaging someone and being like, hey, just so you know, your picture kind of looks like this. For instance, I remember taking a picture one time and the boyfriend I had, he had shorts on. It was summer with no shirt. And I had my camera. Well, he came and pushed me over when I was taking the camera. So my legs were in the air and he's in front of me with no shirt and I took the picture. Well, you know what that looked like. You know what it looked like was happening. Hello, I would never take a picture like that. But that's what the picture looked like. So I could see like if it was something like that where it's like you're not realizing like this looks like this and someone's like, "Hey, just so you know." But also they should do it in a private manner, not just put it out there. But to tell you like you don't look good, that is just no, that's ridiculous. I'll tell Brian you said hi when he comes back out, Jenny. Makes you look snotty. I don't think so, Stacy. That's so funny. It looks like a model picture, I think. Debbie, hello. Yay. My beautiful cousin. Oh, I need to talk to you. I'll have to talk to you after about camping stuff. I don't associate with liars. Heather, I love that. Like, yes, I'm sorry. If anyone would say that to you, like, who would tell them? That's ridiculous. People are ridiculous. If Penny, absolutely. I love that. That's and because that's the thing. I told like my sister, I go, I feel like a lot of times I'll notice things about my sisters or my mom or my aunts or cousins or somebody or strangers that I'm like, oh, that's really pretty, or oh, I like her hair today, or whatever, and don't say it. And then I think later, why didn't I tell her that? Like, doesn't it always feel good when somebody tells you that like something looks pretty that you know, or whatever? And so I'm like, I like try to make a point to do that because it can totally make someone say it. Doesn't it make your day when somebody says it to you? I mean, it does mine. Who doesn't want to feel that they look pretty? Yep, got to do what you got to do. There are a lot of scammers. Definitely a lot of scammers. Unfortunately. And that's the thing too. It makes me mad. Like some things where it's like there's people who sincerely struggle and are trying to do the best they can. And then there's the people who pretend that they do when they don't at all. And so then it's like, it makes it hard because you want to help people. I guess that's the thing. You have to give with the right intention, and what the person does with that, that's up to them. Like, that's between them and God, not you, like, if you feel like God's leading you to help somebody, you should do it. And whatever happens from there, that's out of your hands. Oh, I still can't believe that, Heather. That makes me so sad. Her adorable little self. I can't even stand the thought of that. Ugh. What time is it? 3:41. They got home late. Well, I guess it's almost 4. So I should probably go because so they just got home and they will have to leave at 5 to go back up to the school for practice. So, because we live about 10 minutes from the school. So we live out a little ways in the country from it. So it takes a little bit longer. However, I love it because I like being out. Even though the town is like the tiniest little, we have like one stoplight. There's like, a couple gas stations, a Dollar General, Aw, I'm sorry, Debbie. Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna be on as long today because I want to be able to make them dinner before they're heading back for basketball and stuff. Yeah, I get that too. That is hard. Well, that's even like my grandma said, because she lives on like her social security and stuff. And, she's like, she has all her kids around her. So if she did get in a situation where she's, lacking for whatever reason, she's got people around her and most of her grandkids too, who can help her. But, and like a lot of people don't have that. Definitely don't. Grace. So we live in similar areas or types of areas. Yeah. Do you want to come and say hi to everybody?
No, I'm good.
Jenny said, tell Brian hi. Or she said, hi, Brian.
Hi, Jenny.
Did you hear him? Hi, Jenny.
I'm sorry. Hi, Jenny.
I love your face too, Heather. Thank you. You take care of that sweet baby. She gave you a wave and a kissy face, right?
Okay.
Blowing kisses at my husband, Jenny. What do you think this is? No sister wives up in here. That's a whole different topic. Wow. I am glad to hear that. Being thankful is definitely the best way to get through anything. Bar and post office. There are actually 2 bars and a post office. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It wasn't enthusiastic. Hello, wasn't it? That's funny. Oh, I know that's like a topic that nobody really wants to talk about. Like, uncomfortable. Absolutely. Ooh, that's nice. I need to live there, Grace. No, just kidding. Oh, now she's just giving a wave. She's not gonna kiss you anymore. Yeah, you retract that kiss, Jenny. I'll be blowing kisses to Mike. Aw. Bye. I love you, Jenny. And I hopefully will see you next week. I plan to see you next week at Bible study. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off and make dinner and woohoo, I got a woohoo. And I will be back with you guys next week. So be watching Thursday's video will be a fun makeup one, and then Sundays is something totally different. I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it. So look forward to that. But All right. Well, I love you guys and thanks for hanging out with me. And I hope you all have an awesome day and rest of your week and weekend. And I said weekend, but I meant week and weekend. And then see you next Tuesday. Love you.